look at this, a blazer, a suit jacket, and a tie, but I'm gonna leave the tie in the car. We're gonna go to an event where Tammie Jo Shults is the keynote speaker, and also Wally Funk is in attendance. Let's go check it out. Hey everyone, Dan Milliken. We're here at Mission Possible, the Soaring Hearts Gala for Angel Flight South Central. And there's a lot of really cool things going on. Let's find out what's happening.
And at that time I was so sick that I couldn't even think about that stuff, and so much pain. I had bone cancer, renal cell carcinoma. I started reading the brochure and figured out that I needed to talk to my social worker. And I finally figured out to talk to her, and then she finally helped me contact Angel Flight.
Randall and I are both educators. He was a professor and I'm an elementary teacher, and it just made it possible for him to go back and forth to MD Anderson for clinical trials. Had they not been able to fly him week after week after week, he wouldn't have been able to participate and he wouldn't have received the care that he needed.
When someone would pass away, we would donate money to Angel Flight in their memory. Well, I always associated Angel Flight with death until I became a cancer patient myself, and I totally flipped, and now Angel Flight is life for me. I was given 5 years or less to live 24 years ago.
Okay, the band has kicked up. We've got big band sounds. We're talking to a lot of really cool people, not only patients, we've got Angel Flight members, and we've got Tammie Jo and Wally.
Because I think Angel Flight pulls the love of people and the love of aviation together in one mission. You just can't help but love Angel Flight in the servanthood of it, where we take people from an 8-hour car drive to a 2-hour flight. And that spark of adventure, it makes a difference in your Dr. Phil day.
I have flown all my life. I've got over 20,000 hours of flying time.
You know, one of the things that she's not telling you is she was in the group called Mercury 13, which was the group of women astronauts that was privately funded and trained right alongside our men. Now, it was canceled a couple of weeks before launch, but she was undaunted at disappointment and went on to be a first in so many things.
I did, you're right. And you know what? That was not a big deal for me because they didn't test me like the Russians did. I went to Russia and went through all of their cosmonaut training. It was great. Came back to America, did the same thing. Went back to Europe and did more things. So I've been trained, and I'm only 45.
We're always in need of pilots, for volunteer pilots, so we make sure that all the trips are covered, so that there's less cancellations. They can be canceled because the patient cancels them or weather cancels them, but we don't want them to cancel because we don't have a pilot.
I'd say get involved in it. You'll be surprised at what gratification there is for yourself, just knowing that you can help somebody. You know, I mean, if you have a talent to fly a plane, surely you can use that to help somebody.
You have to have at least 250 hours PIC. You have to maintain insurance, have a medical, and have access to an aircraft. You don't have to own one, you could rent one. And you just want to give of your time. And there's no requirement as to how much time you give. You could do one flight a year and I'd be happy. Once a week, you know, whatever you want to give, we'll take you.
We really need pilots that'll fly. We're not as populous as Dallas or Houston or San Antonio. We just need more volunteers. I mean, people who care. There are people who care out there. They just don't always own an airplane. So we need that combination. We really just need more pilots. And I know there are people out there, they just haven't heard of us.
So if anyone has the ability to give back as a pilot, I highly recommend it. It will reward you way more than it rewards anybody else.
The other part of this story is it's not only the patient that gets cancer, it's the whole family gets cancer.
Cancer diagnosis is hard. It's not hard just on the person who's being diagnosed. It's hard on the entire family. Now, unfortunately, my dad, he did succumb to his disease, but throughout the way, he did instill in me a need and a desire that really burns deep inside of me to be able to want to help people.
One last hero I'd like to show you, Miss Felicia. In between Dean and I there, she was one of our first Angel Flight passengers. And as we were getting off the plane and headed down, she stopped and was silently sobbing, tears flowing. And I stopped thinking maybe she was in pain. She shook me off when I offered to help in some way. And she said, "No, this is what's right about America. People help people in America."
Wow, what a reminder from Tammie Jo. It's easy to wallow in the attack and blame that's going on all around us, but to rise above and remember that what makes us great is that we help each other. And that's what Angel Flight does. That's what the pilots that involve themselves in Angel Flight do. We help each other. All right, well, I want to thank Angel Flight, and we'll put a link down here. If you want to be a pilot for Angel Flight, check them out. Also, I want to thank our sponsors that make this channel possible. Flying Eyes, flyingeyesoptics.com. Use our discount code TAKINGOFF, all caps, one word, for 10% off. Colton Mortgage, Colton taking off for your residential and refi mortgage needs. Marshall Protective Services, these guys are all pilots, so let's support our pilot community. And remember, superior judgment always trumps superior skills. You guys stay safe out there. We'll see you next time on Taking Off.